So we haven't made a video on Ruan Mei in quite a while, but I thought it'd be a good time to talk about the character once more, because I've been seeing Ruan Mei thrown everywhere into my YouTube feed. And she's a very interesting character, the most interesting character we've had in a while. In my honest opinion, for me personally, the most interesting character since Silverwolf. Yo, what up, Toshi here. So what I find very interesting about Ruan Mei, unlike most of the Harmony characters, she contributes more to the overall break of the enemy's toughness bar. Unlike characters like Yukong providing a lot of break against enemies that are weak to imaginary, does mostly work for ult and her basic attack, but if you're using elemental skill in the character, you won't be contributing that much. Whereas Ruan Mei is a character that is skill point positive, all she presses is her elemental skill, and she's going to basic attack every other turn. And then Asta is a character that contributes a lot of break as well, but if the enemy is weak to fire, that is. Whereas all the other characters, Ting Yun does contribute a lot to break as well, but that's only if the enemy is weak to lightning. Ruan Mei gives a lot of break efficiency to the team, allowing your team to break the enemy's toughness bar quicker, and she contributes her own in her ice teams. So she's a very, very interesting character because of that. So with that being said, ice mains are winning because Ruan Mei is going to synergize especially well with the ice element, because while she's ice, in the weakness break of ice is extremely strong. You're going to delay the enemy's action when they take their turn. Well, that's when they take their turn, right? And you're going to have them frozen longer, while allowing your characters to deal more damage because their weakness is broken, right? When the enemy is weakness broken, you deal more damage naturally. And she provides so many buffs on top of that. So characters like Herta are going to benefit with Ruan Mei in the party. And I think that's pretty nice, just in time for Pure Fiction, because this character is going to really synergize well with Ruan Mei and Pela against AoE enemies. But that's super budget Jinglu basically, because most people do have Jinglu, and Jinglu is a character that is a much better version of Herta, unfortunately. So anyone that has Jinglu is going to be using Jinglu alongside Ruan Mei to not only provide more weakness break against the enemy, which takes a lot of the load off of your allies, you know, the damage that your Jinglu is going to be putting onto your allies, sucking their HP. Well, if the enemies are frozen, you're not going to be dealing as much damage to your allies, while putting out more damage with Ruan Mei and Jinglu in the party. And in previous videos, we did talk about how Ruan Mei was going to be really good for dual DPS teams. But the silver lining on the character is that she does way more than just provide a lot of value for dual DPS teams. She's just that good everywhere, every single comp. She can be slotted everywhere. And aside from Jinglu being one of Ruan Mei's best teammates, Kafka and other dot characters are going to love Ruan Mei as well, because these are characters for the longest time you wanted to put break effect on, but you haven't been able to do so, because if you weren't getting it in substats, then you were probably just waiting for a character like Ruan Mei to be released. And break effect allows these characters to deal more damage with the dot, and since Kafka directly detonates the dots, she's going to love the break effect her and her allies receive, and the weakness break efficiency is even better. So in previous videos, we've talked about Ruan Mei being really good in the Monoquantum team, and for the longest time I couldn't explain why. But the reason why Ruan Mei works really well in this team is because she provides a lot of break effect and weakness break efficiency. So if you have Silverwolf on a break effect build, you're going to delay the enemy's action even more, break the enemy's toughness quicker, and you're going to provide more damage with Silverwolf on a break effect build. And since she provides buffs to the whole team, well, everyone here can be built with damage, because her damage buffs, her resistance penetration, her actual damage buffs on top of that has no name on it, so everyone can utilize it. And then we have the full imaginary team. So just like Monoquantum, she'll be really good in a full imaginary team. I like using this team whenever I'm fighting enemies that are weak to imaginary. And if I have a character that allows me to break the weakness of those enemies more often, that is going to take a lot of damage off of my allies here, making them stay relatively healthy. And Lucha does provide a lot of healing already, but having, you know, the enemy's action delayed will just makes things even more safe. And then Yukong just already has so much toughness bar breaking potential with her ultimate and her basic attack. And then let's not forget the damage buffs and the speed she does provide to this team, because overall that's going to allow this team to take more turns because the enemy is going to have less speed, lower action forward, and since we have more speed and we have damage buffs, we're just going to overall deal more damage to the enemy. And while this team may not be the best example of utilizing a character like Ruan Mei, because Den Heng is not one of the best DPSs in the game, and you're only using one damage dealer, right? So if you're going to use one damage dealer, you probably want to use a character like Jinglu or a character like Daniel or Seal in order to maximize their hypercarry damage output, right? And Ruan Mei being really nice to use alongside Bronya is going to allow your Hypercarry damage dealer to do as much damage as they can. But a team like this with Susheng and Clara, I think is going to utilize Ruan Mei really well. So what I do like about having Ruan Mei in this full physical team, this team is going to benefit from the weakness break. Susheng is a character that for the longest time was an actual monster on break effect, but this was during beta. And fast forward, Susheng is a character that is much better on a crit based build than not necessarily having break effect in her stats. However, since she does have a lot of toughness breaking, she's going to benefit from the weakness break efficiency Ruan Mei does provide for the team. And since she is a character that provides team-based buffs, well, this whole team is going to benefit from those buffs as well, Clara included. Which, again, even though you give speed to the whole team, Clara getting 10% speed while she has a 90 base speed isn't going to make or break the character. And as said previously, the Ice team is going to be Ruan Mei's best in slot pretty much. So if you have an Ice character, you're going to really love using them with Ruan Mei. Now, this is definitely very saddening because Ice has been pretty much meta dominant for quite a while now, right? Jinglu has been just absolutely dominating Memories of Chaos. That is until we receive other characters, but yeah, this just gonna make Ice even better when Ice was pretty much the strongest element in the game at the time, right? So because of Ruan Mei, I'm definitely going to continue investing into my Herda build because I really do want this character to hit really hard. This is I have a character that allows me to not only benefit from having a Ice buffer, well, I have a character here that is going to be even better in the Pure Fiction game mode, and well, I can just build other characters in the team party as well, because Pela is going to work really nice alongside Herda too. There's definitely one character I do want to use along Ruan Mei when she does release, and that's going to be Asta, because I definitely do want to try out a super fast team utilizing these two characters. I think honestly having a team with Asta, Bronya, and Ruan Mei and just having your damage dealer be in the last slot is probably going to yield some nice results. Right? I can imagine putting Asta on a Dance Light Cone, and I can imagine putting Ruan Mei on like 4-star Light Cone, 3-star Light Cone for the energy regeneration, getting more energy. And I can imagine putting Bronya on the Light Cone to boost up the damage of the damage dealer. And well, having that damage dealer be any character in the game, geez, I can imagine this team just zero cycling with ease. But to be brutally honest, if you want to make things more safe and you do have access to Woah, she'll be a nice character to use in this team regardless if you have Bronya or not. Or if you want to use Bronya alongside Ruan Mei and Asta. So having Woah just makes things a lot more easier while providing energy and attack to the whole team. So that's just very nice for the damage dealer in general and all the Harmony characters here and getting their ults much more faster. But I do understand that not everyone has access to Woah, so you can just use whatever other defensive option you have in your account, like Jeopard. Jeopard would be really good for teams that are Ice, right? If you have a full Ice team, having Jeopard allows you to break the weakness of the enemy more consistently, and you'll be freezing the enemy quicker, right? Because Jeopard does have a freeze on this skill. So overall, Ice is going to benefit the most from Ruan Mei, but Dot teams is going to be pretty much behind when it comes to benefiting from Ruan Mei as well. And then the Mono Quantum team is going to be really good with Ruan Mei. So I think overall, Ruan Mei is definitely going to be probably the best character. No, she's going to be the best character when she does release in Honkai Star Rail because she's just so flexible and she makes the best teams even better. So one of the coolest things about Ruan Mei is that she's going to be a very nice character for free to play because the only Light Cone you honestly need on the character is mashing cogs. You get more energy for the character. That's all you need. But if you are a luckier player, or maybe you are a spender in this game, then you can have access to other Light Cones like Memories of Past, which will give break effect on top of the energy you're already going to give to the character. That is a very strong Light Cone choice for Ruan Mei. So there you have it. I hope you enjoyed today's video. One of the things that does slightly deter me from talking about characters in Honkai Star Rail is just whether or not I'm going to get the character on release. Now, as you all know, making videos means I probably should try to invest into getting more characters, but I just don't want to support the gacha system for this game. Now, I do understand that's my fault, as I choose to make videos, but I do appreciate all the support you guys do provide for the videos. It really means a lot to me. That's the video here. Thank you for watching, and have a nice rest of your day. Peace.